Well, I suppose, hello everyone, my name's Leah Smith, I am 18 years old, and this is my first video on my YouTube channel. You're probably wondering why do you have no hair, if you don't know. I have a cancer called Ewing Sarcoma.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Truth of Grief podcast. Today I'm joined with Liam and Jenny Smith. They are the mum and brother of someone that you may have heard from if you have TikTok. They're here to share Leah's story and to raise some awareness and tell us all about Leah and what she went through. So if you haven't heard of Leah, tell us about her.
Leah was, obviously she was my daughter, Liam's sister. To us, she was just Leah. She was our family member. But she got the diagnosis of cancer, and I don't know, she amazed me and a lot of other people, because the positivity that she used with the cancer, she turned cancer into something positive. She turned cancer into a way to help other people. And I'd never seen anything like it before. She always made me proud, but when I say bursting with pride, I couldn't control the burst, and that's how much what she was, and that's the way she was. And I just thought, no, she's done something here. She's changed something. She's social media. She changed the negativity of that and made it, no, come on, let's all get together. And we always say, don't we, if it wasn't for the her followers on social media, they got her through every bit of it and every second of it. And that's what Leah changed. She changed, stopped the bullying, stopped the hate. She put a lot of weight on through treatment, through steroids and that, didn't she? And she came out there. Obviously, she lost her hair, eyelashes. She didn't care. She was showing
Still
people
wasn't bothered.
you don't need to look perfect or be perfect. It's about what you do and what you do in life. And in a short few years, she did that. And I just thought, we have to carry this on now.
And that's the thing, though. Leah didn't realise how many people she actually helped. Even just the one little message saying, you're going to be okay and everything's going to be okay, don't worry, you're beautiful. She didn't realise that person literally took that to heart, because she didn't realise and we didn't realise the impact that she actually had on, I wouldn't even say the UK, it was the whole world really. When she passed away, we had messages from America, Spain, Australia, everyone saying we spoke to Leah and they helped them through the GCSEs, they helped them get modelling contracts, she helped them not fight cancer but overcome it, not be scared of it.
She also showed them, so say you're a young girl yourself or a child or even an adult, it's scary, cancer, no matter what age, and you're going into that, you've just been diagnosed, you've just been told. She would show them, this is going to happen and that's going to happen and this is what it's about. And I used to say to her, what are you doing, Lee? And she'd go, but Mum, they're scared, they've just been diagnosed and they don't, so I'm going to do a video to show them. And I'd be like, wow, I'd be like,
so
why
selfless.
Are you thinking of them when you're the one? And I thought, no, she is. I learnt a lot off her, and I'm the mum. So that's saying something in its own.
That's amazing. So if we're going back to the beginning, how did she get the diagnosis? What was going on? What did she feel? Or
she lost a lot of colour. She went very grey. She started losing a lot of weight really rapidly, falling asleep at the dinner table and things like that. And then she started getting pain. It was on the left pelvic bone. And the pain was getting worse. We were rubbing Tiger Balm on it. The last thing we were ever thinking was, that's cancer. We were back and forth to the doctors. They were scratching their heads. It's a young girl. We had a lot of scans. We had a lot of doctor's appointments, but nothing was ever picked up. So it was really difficult to try and... We were getting on to 10 months back and forth to doctors. And we were just getting nowhere. We were just getting diagnosed with teenage depression, jealous of the baby. Oh, and I was just like, what? You know, and you're walking out. And in the end, I'm not going to lie, I started believing the doctors and not Leah. Because I was like, Leah, come on. I was like, this can't be. We've been everywhere. We've been in the Royal, Broad Green. I was like, there's nothing going on, Leah. I was like, what's happening? And then it was the final time, and she come to me and she said, Mum, please, I can't take it anymore. So I said, you know what? I'm ringing this doctor's and I'm tying myself to the doctor's desk, and I said, and I'm not leaving until we find out what's wrong. The baby was only about 6 months old at the time, and we're just about to leave the door. I rung the doctor. She said, come up now, just come up. So we were leaving the door, and obviously the baby does the usual, right up the backside. So I was like, Leah, I've got to change it. I went, but you just walk up. She didn't even make it to the doctor. She collapsed in the street. And my neighbour saw her, rushed her in the car, rushed her to the doctors. It's only at the top, you can see the doctors from my house. Rushed her to the doctor, and he come out and he said, emergency MRI now, Royal. He said, I'm ringing through, get an ambulance, get there now. I'll ring through, she'll get tucked straight in. And within a few hours, they came to us, size of a watermelon. It was. Size of a watermelon.
So where did it start? Where?
Off a pelvic bone. So Ewing Sarcoma is bone cancer.
Yeah.
But Leah, it grows in the bones. But Leah's grew off a bone, so it was classed as rare. It was classed as very rare.
Oh wow.
And we got, as soon as they found it, they were right on it then, and we got rushed straight to Oswald Street Hospital because they were going to operate, but they were saying to us, you know, she's not going to walk. She's not going to walk again. It's a pelvis. We're going to have to break it and things. And we've got to get in to get it out and blah, blah, blah. We were there 6 weeks where they did every possible scan. And then they ended up just saying, we can't operate. We can't see. We're going in blind. We can't see where it's coming from. We can't see what it's coming off.
Because it was so big.
Yeah.
Wow.
They said, we're going in blind. They said, we're going to refer you to Clatterbridge now for treatment.
Is that where she had chemo to shrink it?
Yeah,
or?
Clatterbridge was, we got to Clatterbridge, we were in Oswald Street about 6 weeks, got to Clatterbridge, and straight away, they started everything. It was straight away, there was no messing around.
Do you remember how you felt in that moment that you was told she had cancer?
The whole world collapsed, and it felt like the world stopped. And everyone was still carrying on. And I always said that if we were sat outside the hospital and I just looked round, I just felt like I was in some sort of simulation and everyone else was just getting on. And like I said, my world just stopped.
It just pauses.
Yeah, that's it. It just felt like everything paused and no one could see me. And I felt like I wasn't on this earth no more.
I wanted to fall to my knees, but Leah was so strong, and so I was like, I can't. I was like, I can't do that when she's acting like that, so I just acted the way Leah did.
What did Leah do when she heard the news?
She just embraced it. She straight away.
I mean, she had a very dark humour. She said, you know how great it is not having to do your hair every day.
Yeah.
She had a really dark humour, and I remember one day, Leah was always stealing my hairbrush, and I remember one day, because you just, even though you've had the diagnosis of cancer, life's still normal. You're still getting up and going to work, getting up and I'm screaming all over the house, you've got my brush. She come out the bedroom, I found one, and I went, I was like, I have not just done that. And I was like, I'm sorry. And she thought it was hilarious. She thought it was the funniest thing on the planet, but you everything changes. You're like Liam, the world stops, but you are still carrying on being normal. And that's the hardest part. I was still arguing with her. I was still, and then I'd go.
She probably needed that though, because as you was explaining her, she just wanted to be normal. She wanted to do the things that she was always doing. She saw the funny side in everything.
She didn't like to be a fuss. She didn't like a fuss.
No.
She didn't like you doing anything for it. She didn't like talking about it. But I think that was it. She just wanted to be normal, and she didn't look at it, as weird as it is, she didn't look at it as an illness. She just wanted to forget about it, which I think everybody does that's got cancer, and it is hard to do. But Leah, she did that, and we don't even know how she did it. It affected us more than her.
Did she start her TikTok because of the cancer, or did she already have TikTok before that?
No, she started TikTok because of the cancer. She
She
started
did?
it in the hospital. Her first video, I think she started YouTube first, and there's a video on there, and it was her first ever video, and she's explaining that she's 17, she's just been diagnosed with the Ewing Sarcoma cancer. She's got no hair on it, and then that was it. After that, she just blew up on TikTok, but it wasn't because people liked her, but it was because she was putting videos out there to help people.
Yeah.
It was always that, and it was like a journey of cancer, and that's how she got it out. She didn't speak to anyone about it. She done it on a video, so then everyone knew how she was feeling, so they didn't have to ask her. And that's what she liked. She didn't like I said before, she didn't like a fuss, but she did want people to know, because obviously there were questions people wanted to know.
I don't think she would speak to her immediate family like us guys, but she could speak on the camera.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are like that.
I think it was more of, I can talk to them, but when I'm with my mum and that, we're just acting. We just tried to make every day dead like exciting and that, didn't we?
Do you know what it probably was? She probably felt like she had to protect your feelings.
Yeah.
Whereas doing it online for other people, you don't have to worry about that, do you? And it's more like almost educational. It's like an escape, wasn't it, for her?
Yeah.
So
it was that was her world, to do her, to get her feelings and expressions out as well. Yeah.
Was there any negatives of the TikTok?
There was.
Yeah, but she
didn't care,
no. And like me mum always said, that one or two comments to the 10,000-20,000 other ones, she, there was more positive than negative. So Leah just took it as like, oh, okay, well, why are you commenting if you don't like me? Or, one of them,
Tempe and George. Like, just ignore him.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And I was like, we don't care. Only he cares. I was like...
Fair.
Yeah.
So obviously, Leah was only 17 when she was diagnosed, and the baby was only 6 months.
Yeah.
So obviously, the baby's was grown up around it.
Yeah.
Did she understand much? Did you tell her? Did you try and protect her? How did that go?
She knew a lot, because she'd hear me talking on the phone, probably because she would say things and I'd go, and I'd think, that's me talking on the phone, do you know what I mean? But the baby was more, her life was the hospital. We're going to see Leah at the hospital. She was used to it. The baby got spoiled rotten at the hospital, and for years. I was like, God. But yeah, the baby, it was like, we made it not sad and bad. That she enjoyed going to the hospital. She loved to get ready to go, and she'd get a toy to bring to Leah. And the baby it was just the baby's norm. It was her normal life. So she didn't really, it didn't affect her in a way it's bothered her. It affected her in a way of, oh, that's my sister, she's got cancer, kind of, but it didn't, the baby didn't go, you know what I mean? She wasn't like, oh my God, she's got cancer. She was just like, that's my sister, she's got cancer.
That's probably because of how Leah was, though.
Yeah.
If Leah was very doom and gloom, woe is me, struggled a lot, she might think, oh, cancer's not good, cancer's scary, cancer's bad.
Yeah.
But because Leah was just so happy, positive, bubbly, the baby's only going to notice what Leah's like, isn't she? So that's just incredible how she could be so positive. I don't think I'd be like that.
No, I've always
I'd be very woe is me.
I don't know how she coped, because I don't know how anybody copes out there with cancer.
It's bad enough for the families, isn't it? But to actually imagine yourself in that
situation.
That's why as well with Leah, I was thinking in me, the whole time going through, I was like, she's not going to make this. And I was like, and I kind of pushed her to live a life quick. She met Andrew, so she got that first love feeling. She got the dog, so she was a mum. They got a flat together and she adored the flat. It was all over TikTok. Everyone will know about the flat. She loved the flat. So in my head, I was pushing her to do things, but it was because I knew she didn't have much time, and I wanted to sit after she'd passed and go, oh well, she felt love, she felt being a mum, and it was to a dog, but my dog's my baby. Leah's dog was there, they're our babies, you know what I mean? I was like, she felt being a mum, she felt everything we needed her to feel, like that you should feel as a woman in life. Do you know what I mean? And that was the only thing that would get me through it. I'd think, okay, she's doing this, she's doing that.
So as Leah was 18, like over 18, how did you navigate not being there all the time? And
it was scary because I used to think, what are they saying to her? Why I'm not there? What are they getting her to sign? She's 18 now, she can sign it herself. And I'd be like, she doesn't understand none of this. But there was not much with her being 18. There was not much I could do. It had to, this was in the hospital now we're talking about. So they would come in and speak to Leah as if she would understand. And Leah didn't want to know all that. She didn't want to. No. And in the end, Leah had to say, you can talk to my mum, not me. And she had to sign and I had to sign. As it was a appointee, is it? You're an appointee. And I'm glad they did that in the end because she was just sitting in the hospital bed, my baby, do you know what I mean? And they're going on about liaisons and this and that. And Leah was like, what,
did she not want to know test results sometimes either?
No.
Wow.
She wouldn't even go in for the test results. She used to sit there. As soon as Dr. Elliot talked, boom, out the door.
Really?
And I'd be like, sorry, Dr. Elliot. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
But then had she have known everything, she might not have been so positive. So she was doing it for herself, wasn't she? In a good way. Yeah. She was protecting herself.
I think deep down she knew everything, but she was just trying to hide it to be.
You just want to be naive to it all, don't you?
Yeah, she just wanted she just wanted to be normal and
one of Leah's very good traits is she used to be, what's the word? She used to be ignorance is bliss. When she was a teenager, that was, do you know what I mean? But when cancer come, I was like, oh, that's really working well now. I was like, that's a good trait to have now. I was like, ignorance was bliss with Leah. She was just like, what are we doing tonight?
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing.
Oh, what are we doing tomorrow? Well, let's go on holiday next month. And we were like, I was like, Leah, I work. I can't just... And she was like, so I'll pay. And I'm like, no, that's not...
I'll tell your boss.
Just get them to ring me. No.
Oh, that's amazing. So after Leah was first originally diagnosed, how long did it take to get into remission?
10 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she battled 10 months. Every scan, it was amazing, gone. She handled everything really well, the chemotherapy. She had proton beam at Christie's hospital. And I was telling people used to say, God, how did you do it? And I'm like, I think we cheated. I'm like, it wasn't, as bad as what I was expecting at the beginning. Leah did really well with everything. And I really was quite shocked. We went into remission, we had to scan, it was all clear. She had 15 months in remission, but I'm not going to lie to people, I think the remission was probably the scariest time. Because you're just constantly worried, is that going to come back? Are we going to go through that again? And every little pain, every illness, every sniffle, obviously when you've had that amount of treatment that she'd had, you have a low immune system. So she picked every bug up and stuff, constantly back in ambulances, constantly back in the hospital. I wouldn't say remission is all, I'm clear, because you just don't feel like that at all. 15 months, she did. And then how we found out it had come back is she met Andrew, total love of her life. She adored that boy. She adored him. She met Andrew and she disappeared to Wales Barton. And I was like, Leah, but she was happy. And I thought, you know what, leave her. She's living life. She deserves this. And she called me up and she said, Mum, I'm going to go out with a couple of my friends from Liverpool. Can we stay in yours? And I said, yeah, that's fine. So they came up to Liverpool, they went out, but they came home early. And she was on the couch and she said, Mum, I've got this pain here. And I was like, oh, and she was going, don't worry, it's just a hangover. I shouldn't have done like I did, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. But she started like vomiting and being sick a lot. And even Andrew, boyfriend, he was like, is she okay? And I said, oh, I don't know, And she went, I'm going to go and get checked out, Mum. We went into hospital and straight away it travelled to a lung and it was now lung cancer.
Oh, wow. Well, like a secondary cancer.
Yeah, it's secondary now, lung cancer.
Oh, my goodness.
That's something that as well that we never understood, knowing they do the stages. I used to think that, like, stage 4 was that's it. That's the end. But they explained to us about stages. It means how many tumours in how many different areas you've got. So for Leah's the first 7 months that she was battling, it was only stage 0 because it was one tumour in one place.
Like localised, isn't it?
Yeah. When it went to the lungs, she was still stage 0 right the way for the first year and a half because it was just in the lung.
Right.
But then it started spreading and breaking up, and so then it went to 7, and then it was stage 4.
Right.
And I said to the doctors, is this it now? Is she going to pass away? Is that what? He said, no, you can live with stage 4 cancer. It just means it's in a lot more. Stage 4 is more than 4 areas and more than 4 tumours.
Right,
kind of thing, which I never knew that either.
Yeah.
I used to think ringing the bell meant you're all clear. It's not, it's just the end of your treatment, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was as well.
I thought it meant you're all clear. It's not, just you've got a big long road ahead of you. You've just finished that bit of treatment, haven't you? But I do see why they ring the bell, because it's so grueling, the treatment.
Yeah, it's still like an achievement.
It's a celebration, isn't it? But that's what I thought it was, a celebration. Because you got the all clear. I didn't realise it was just that one treatment, because then you ring the bell again when you do the next treatment.
So you said that she had proton beam or something?
Yeah.
Is that what straight after she was diagnosed the first time?
She had 7 months of chemotherapy and then went to Christie's in Manchester for proton beam.
7 months of chemo?
Yeah, 7 months of it. And it was every day, wasn't it?
It was intense.
She only came
as
home.
well.
She was in hospital 5 days a week and came home for 2. And then would go back and be totally blasted for them 5 days. And even the doctors were saying, we're really blasting her, you know, and she's handling this.
It was like, 14 bouts of chemo for 14 days. She was on chemo every single day. The only time she come home was in the night. If she wasn't an inpatient in the hospital, she was back and forth every day.
Is that when she started, like, when the TikTok hit off?
Yeah,
like the first time?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, to be fair, she must have had quite a bit of free time, really. If you're just sitting in the hospital, it's the best time to start doing videos and stuff. And I can't believe how big she got. Well, I can believe it because of how amazing she was, but
I didn't realise it until the day she passed away on my phone. And I went, what is going on? And like messages from all around the world. And I was like, Liam?
Well, it was the news articles as well, because it's when we went down to Cornwall. And then I woke up the next morning and my phone had blew up completely, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Everyone was going, Liam, check Google, type in Leah's name, just look. And I was like, no, I know. I was like, I know she's on Google. But I looked at it, and I mean, we had California, the New York Times, Mexico, Canada, Indian Times, Australia. I was like, how do these people know who she was? I didn't have a clue, because we were just so bothered about trying to get Leah better. We wasn't focused on what she was actually doing online. Like, I knew what she was doing, and I knew she had the followers, but I didn't actually think they cared as much as they did, basically.
Because you can have a TikTok account that has loads of followers, but if it's just someone chatting waffle and stuff, you don't actually care about that person.
That's what I mean, you don't care. You don't go out and start talking about it, whereas now we get told Leah's name is all over Clatterbridge, or the nurses are always talking about it. They refer it in meetings, you know, how good she was and the patient she was. It's crazy. Like, literally everyone in the world knew Leah.
Did say as well, we've never met a family like you guys. They said you never leave her on her own. You always make sure someone's with her. You never, when we come in the room, you're not sitting there angry at the doctors because they've come 4 hours late, which the doctors, they're up the wall, do you know what I mean? We'd be there on our game with our fleecy blankets out and ordering a takeaway, and we just made ourselves a home, do you know what I mean? We're like, what's the point in having a go at these doctors when they're trying everything? And they used to say, like, we need to make an example of you guys to show people, like, because they say half of the battle with cancer is the mental battle. I know it's the physical, it's taken over her body, it was killing her, but it was the mental side of it that helps a lot.
Do you think that's what kept her going for as long as she did? Like, the videos she was doing, the support she had, you guys, everyone was just so, like, amazing to her. And
something her nan always says my mum is Leah getting cancer was her purpose in life, and it's not fair because we lost her and she got took away from us because of it, but that was her purpose, and what she's done in them few years, it's like that was her purpose. Maybe that's what we're here for, and that's why we always put on our quote about the turning pain into purpose. Everybody's going to go through pain in their life. Please use that pain to be strong, because it's the only time you're going to be strong.
Cool.
Like when we were talking last night and you said things that it does not but touch the sides now. I'm like, sometimes I think nothing will ever bother me ever again. Now bring it on. I'm like, because I feel 10 foot tall. It's like...
Well, it's what Leah said, don't let it control your life, and that's what she did. And I know it's hard doing that, and people will find it hard, but you've just got to push and fight no matter what, and you will be okay.
Yes. She did a video once and she said, if you're sitting in your room right now under them covers and you're crying your eyes out and you can't get up, she said, look at me, get up, do it. And she went to stand up and fell over. I was like, and she comes back going, oh, drop me phone then, sorry, yes. And I was like, you know, even though she couldn't stand up, she was like, just get up, just do it. Tomorrow's another... No, she used to say to me, there's always a way. There's always a way. And even if it, like I explained when we were talking last night, mine and Leah's way was Roblox. I know. And I am admitting Roblox, but that was, we couldn't do anything else because she couldn't really walk towards the end. She couldn't. So we were just Roblox, sitting in bed all the time.
Nice.
It was like, and that, some people will laugh, but that's a way. It got us out of the real world. It got us into...
Basically, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
Just, if that's how you cope, do it.
Yeah. I'm being a little bit really personal here, but when Leah got poorly towards the end and couldn't really walk much and we couldn't go places, when I was in the Roblox world with her, we're both running around together and we were living and we were, and I'd come out of my game and go, oh, there she is, poorly as hell. But in our game, she was right next to me and we were alive again, do you know what I mean? It was me and my daughter. And that sounds a bit weird, I know it does, but that's how I felt.
Until you're in it.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Fully understand.
So you started saying about Leah went on the night out, had the pain in her chest, and you went back to the hospital. Talk me from there. What happened?
It was when they told us it was back in the lung. The first thing I thought was, oh, she done so well the first time. How are we going to keep that up for the second time? Because we were tired now. We're getting into 2 years of cancer. And I just thought, how's she going to do this? With Leah, it was gone. How can I explain this? It was as if Leah enjoyed the attention from having cancer. The second time round, she didn't want that attention.
No, you could see she was scared. Well, we all was.
She didn't want that attention then. She was like, no, I don't want it. She did the video the first time she lost her hair and we shaved it, and it was quite a
powerful
video.
But it was powerful though, wasn't it?
The second one was horrible. I mean, I walked out halfway through the cutting the hair. I was like, no. I was like,
it hits you so much worse.
The second time, the cutting the hair wasn't fun. Nothing was. You could just see we don't want this now. We've done our bit now. Leave us alone. You know what I mean? But the second time was not as, she wasn't as positive. She was worried about Andrew because she really loved him and she thought he's going to walk off now. I'm going to lose my hair, and he stayed right by her side. I absolutely adore that lad. I've got his back till the end of the world. It was totally different. Yeah. Totally different the second time round. Every scan wasn't good news.
No.
Every treatment wasn't working. It
just went from 2022, it just went downhill. It wasn't the tumours have broke up, the tumours were grew, and then that's when reality hit that, oh no, this is real, and that's when we all started thinking, this is it now, where it's not going to get any better.
Not twice.
No.
Yeah.